quick, tap my balls. Good luck. Good luck. Oh shit!
Oh,
Bang! Welcome back to the podcast. Bang! It's the podcast. Wow, that was surprisingly more in sync than we've ever done.
Yeah. In the event of nut scratching meant to come together. Yeah.
Very, very easily.
Y'all know what's up. So, spooky season is upon us, well and truly.
It's
Whether this video comes out around that spooky season time,
is
It will be today.
it will.
will it?
Yay.
Mad.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
Halloween
that
is tomorrow.
Fun.
As it stands, I don't understand why Halloween is a thing. I'm not sure.
I don't want to get into the pagan history as to why Halloween is a thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, why do we? It seems like Halloween was first and foremost an American thing.
Yep.
And we've picked it up.
Yep.
Why have we picked it up?
Yep.
Exactly.
So what? We pick up stuff from other people all the time.
Yeah, but I
See
don't
British Empire for more details.
I don't understand why be spooky?
We like stealing things, okay?
Yeah, but why?
That's what we do.
Why this? Why is it such a big thing?
It's because it's become obviously
this
it's
is one of the few things left that we can still steal.
I mean, yeah, but like it's now just like it's more of a universally accepted holiday in a way, in most places at least. But I don't know. It's just 'cause I guess it's just it started such a long time ago, and now there's no point changing it now. So that's why we're doing it.
But I think the way that I see it is that a lot of the holidays that we have now, like Easter and Christmas, come from the Bible or whatever it was.
No, most holidays have Christian connections.
Well, yeah, but like Easter is like, oh, Jesus back to life. Christmas, oh, Jesus to life the first time.
Yeah.
Halloween is.
Basically, what we do.
I don't
What
understand.
we do is we take religious holidays, kick the religion out of them, and celebrate our own way. That's what we did with Christmas, because Christmas is no longer about Christ. It's more about Santa Claus and presents.
Getting shit.
Yes, capitalism.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to spinning the wheel with just.
This is just the
This is part of the
intro.
Yeah, part of the thing.
No, I dropped the pen.
That's stupid. But
Acknowledge this.
But Easter.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. But we're gonna do it anyway. But Easter. Oh, lighting.
That was pretty spooky.
Ooh,
Oh!
the lights turning on there.
Oh.
Ah.
James.
And who was flickering the lights? Nosferatu. SpongeBob. Anyone?
Never seen it.
I really don't
Oh
like.
wait, is that the vampire?
Yeah.
Yeah,
where he's
yeah,
like flicking
okay,
the light. He's
okay,
like
I get it.
Nosferatu.
Yeah. I bullied a guy who was dressed like. Well, I didn't bully him, but I got a selfie with him, and he doesn't look happy in it.
Oh.
I'll show you it later.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, anyway, we should spin the wheel
Yeah.
and see what spooky topic will be spooking today.
Yes,
Yep.
because as you can see, everything on the wheel right now
Is spooky.
begins with the word spooky.
So you know this is spooky.
So
It's more
just,
sensitive.
who's gonna do the honors?
I will do the spooky spin.
You will do the spooky
Alright.
spooky.
Spooky spin.
That was pathetic, but we'll run with it. There you go.
There you go. That was a spooky spin. Don't do that. We have landed on
Spooky stories.
Yay.
Aye,
Oh,
aye.
this is gonna be terrible.
This is gonna be some really good info.
I have. Oh yeah.
Now,
Jesus Christ.
I know about two. I say I know. I have a vague recollection of hearing them. I heard one of the best ones I've ever heard. I have almost completely forgotten, but I heard it in Scouts like 5 years ago. So
Well, tell the story, man.
tell the story.
Tell the
Oh, we
story.
can see a hand.
We
me-
can
It's
as well.
spookier.
Let me just remove.
Spocky!
There you go. I've removed the hand.
Oh no! It was like the Addams Family hand.
Da 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 da.
No.
Thank you, Rob.
It's alright. They won't hear it.
Anyway, so just do we want to each tell a spooky story, or do we want to talk about spooky stories?
Tell.
Okay.
tell.
I actually have a good one. that I-
Okay.
I'll
Can we
make
get some
it.
mood lighting going on in here, please? Nice.
Oh, spooky.
Mood lighting isn't strobe lighting.
Just goes back.
Not, I meant off, but whatever.
Night.
Our man's going. He's gonna. There's gonna be some real spooky lighting. You guys aren't prepared.
Oi oi!
Oh, the
who
lights
was
are
that
off.
person?
But it's fairly
Ah.
bright
Sorry,
due to the
put
due
that
to the.
back.
Pay no attention to the man behind the camera. Exactly.
Exactly. That's why we're telling them to pay no attention. 'Cause you can't
So,
see things, pay attention
This
to.
scary story, the more I think about it, the more I don't remember. But I'll try my best.
And if not, make it up. Go on.
Yes.
Yes. Go on.
So.
Oh, it's really spooky
No, I
today.
just touched his feet. Grace would love this. Anyway, so it's a spooky night.
What a brilliant way
Right.
to start the story.
Got
Okay.
me hooked.
Okay. It doesn't necessarily matter what day it is, so it's fine.
Our cameraman just build.
It's at night, okay, and it's really foggy. You can't really see anything. And there's this couple in a car, and they're driving down ye olde country lane,
Okay.
as you do. And they were driving down, and all of a sudden, just because that's what spooky stories are, car breaks down.
I don't believe you.
I often don't believe me either. But let's run with it.
Oh man, he's telling a story.
I'm sorry, bro.
I'm telling a story that I don't remember.
give us some time.
Giving you time to think.
Now, this could go either one of two ways.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Okay, one way,
Mm-hmm.
fix the car.
Okay.
Second way,
They die.
they don't.
Right. Okay. That is correct, sort of.
Thank you.
But that wasn't the. Okay. Because I don't remember it, either there is a radio announcement of an escaped serial killer,
Oh, how lucky.
or there isn't.
I think I know the story you're trying to think of.
Do you?
I think so.
Well, anyway,
But tell it.
they've broken down in the car, and the boyfriend, because macho man. He's like, I am going to get help. So before he's even looked to see what's wrong, he immediately thinks, you know what, I'm gonna get help,
Smart man.
as you do. So he gets out the car, and he's like, wait here, and if I'm not back in 10 minutes, call someone.
Why
don't
don't you
know
just
why.
call someone before?
I don't know, but this is the way that I've heard
Yeah,
the
why
story.
didn't they just call the SO?
The S- who?
AA.
AA, that's it. Sorry.
SO.
The who?
The letters
It's
meant-
2 letters and the letters are the same. Yet you managed to get them completely wrong.
I'm sorry, I look at the side of the road and I just remembered
SO.
Maybe
SO.
it's SOS.
It was
but
SOS. Someone was going, ow!
Still, that's
Rob was
irrelevant.
like, oh, there's no repair company. Help us! No. You help me.
Okay,
So anyway, he gets out, and because it's really foggy and they've got the lights on, it's at night, he's walking away and she's watching him, and then, he disappears into the mist.
In the dark of the night.
Spooky.
Ooh,
Um,
I'm liking
It's
this.
romantic.
So,
It's making me red.
yeah, he gets out and she's waiting there, I think. And she's sitting in the car.
Thank you.
Then all of a sudden, there's a bang on the roof. I
Good sound effects.
I think.
Oh, good.
You think?
Now she's like, "Holy crap! This is
Oh.
probably maybe nothing
I love a PG story.
in it. It's probably just a twig. No, maybe not a twig. A branch. No. What's in
the
between?
middle of
What's in
nowhere.
between a stick falling from a tree?
There was a log that fell on the roof of the car.
A
There was a
tree.
tree.
that fell on the roof of the car.
There was a forest.
That was a boulder. Rubbed it. Planet.
the moon.
The continent of Africa.
But anyway, something. She's like, oh, okay, something's fallen on the roof of the car.
Probably a plane.
It's no big deal. You know, because it's spooky. Why wouldn't it be a big deal?
Why wouldn't it be a big deal?
I'm forgetting stuff. I'm gonna make it up now.
Go for it.
Cool.
So Africa falls onto the roof.
Yeah.
Yes.
This story has been completely unscary from beginning to end. But go on.
Yeah, that's because I didn't remember it. Now I've got nothing to remember.
Which is very unfortunate.
The only way that this could go is up, unless it goes further down. In which case, yeah. So she thinks it's no big deal, so she's just sitting in her car, still waiting. But she hears another on the roof.
And now it's South Africa.
Wait,
South
South
Africa
Africa's
is its
part
own
of Africa.
continent.
Sorry. Well, in my head, it was like, oh, we're going to have North Africa fall on it, and we're going to have South Africa fall on it, and East and West, but no, we've already had all of it.
We've already got the whole of Africa on the roof of the car.
Asia, Europe. You know, could have gone with all those.
Okay, nice work showing off your knowledge of the continents, bruh.
I know my basic geography skills are mad. In it.
Right. Well, anyway, she thinks it must be another twig.
Continent.
Is there a reason why I can't see anything on the screen? Or
Let's not draw attention to it.
Really spooky.
cool. Oh, it does. It's black and white. It's spooky.
This is not spooky at all. I do not feel
Shut up.
a single.
Red lighting.
That's the spookiest thing that's happened. Blindness.
Ah.
Your retinas have been taking a damage.
You know what? That kind of was spooky. If you looked at the screen.
It looks spooky. Look at the screen. Not if we look at it.
Yeah, and I can't get past this point in the story.
Fuck's sake.
So anyway, she's sitting in the car. A severed hand, falls down the windscreen. She's like, "Oh crap!" There's more tapping on the roof of the car. Yes, the window breaks, like the side window for the driver's window, which is not where she's. That breaks. It's the murderer. She's like, holy moly. She gets out and she starts running. That's my... It was scarier when I first heard it because it was told properly. Okay? You happy now?
I was terrified.
No, someone take over.
Alright.
Do you pee your pants? Maybe shit.
All three, my dude. But,
Go on, tell us a scary anime story.
Come on then.
I don't have scary anime stories.
Beat
but
this.
I have
Beat this, bro. Beat this.
I have a scary story that I think it's like a. Well, anyway, so a girl.
Hold on, before you start. If yours is scarier than mine, I will give you nothing. But if mine is scarier, you must give me 5p.
I'm not giving you 5p. For your shit story.
You know, 5p is actually quite.
A lot.
You know, what? No, it's 5p.
Back off me, man.
All right.
You what, mate?
Continuity editor.
Inside joke.
I
It's
guess
inside
I
joke.
shall
Inside.
tell my tale. I
Yep.
suppose.
Be prepared to lose that 5p, my man.
Okay. So, it's a bright summer day, and there's a little girl who is playing in the garden of her grandparents' house.
Standard.
While she's playing, she runs over to these tall bushes that are in her grandparents' garden.
There's a man in there.
And while she's pushed the cable, I think it's on.
Going into the mic.
That better? Okay. Well, anyway, so she goes over to these tall bushes at the end of the garden, and fuck you, and she hears a strange noise.
Put it into black and white again. Oh, well, we can.
The girl looks up at the tall bushes and sees a woman's face peering down at her, her complexion white and greyish, with a small summer hat upon her head. She looked at her emotionless before the girl got scared and ran into her grandparents' house. She told them, she told them, I saw a really tall lady out there, and she scared me. And so the grandparents looked at her scared, saying, did she make any noise? And going, yeah, it just sounded like pong, pong, something like that. The grandparents immediately got freaked out and said, come with me. They dragged the girl up the stairs to their house.
Wait, did you say dragged?
Well, you know.
Did you say porn as the sound?
No.
Porn.
And, that's a good story, man.
No, it's a good story.
You're fucking this up.
No, I'm scared.
So they opened the door. They opened the door to the room, and lit candles, putting them in each corner. They then completely shut off the windows and all entrances to the room. They put the girl in the room and said, "We're calling an exorcist. Please." Fuck you.
We're calling the SO.
The girl. They said, "Don't. No matter what you do, don't open the door." The girl agreed, and they shut the door, locking it. The girl was sitting in the room for hours, waiting, hearing nothing, until she heard scratching at the window. She turned away, not wanting to see what was out there. She then heard footsteps outside, long, heavy ones. And then she heard the familiar noise. Pont, pont, pont. She got even more freaked out and went and hid in the corner, covering her eyes. She then heard a knock at the door. "You can come out now," said the voice of her granddad. She ran to the door before pausing. She remembered that her granddad told her not to open the door under any circumstances. "Come on, just come out," said the voice, slowly getting more and more distorted. The girl ran away from the door and ran back to the back of the room, crying, until eventually the door opened again, and her grandparents stepped in, along with the exorcist behind them. The exorcist came in with the girl and shut the door. And after a strenuous process, they came out with the exorcist claiming that the girl had been free from her curse. Years later, the girl moved away. She didn't want to stay around there due to the experience she'd had. However, upon her grandparents' death, she decided to move back. And upon visiting the house, she walked into the garden and remembered her experience. But she was happy that it was over. But just as she turned to leave, she heard a familiar noise. Pont, pont. That's it. That's my story.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
All right.
Quite spooky.
I think it's close, but I think my one pips the post.
No, it doesn't.
I mean,
yours was shit.
No. Finn, yours was scary. But imagine having the continent of Africa fall on the roof of your car.
That's pretty scary.
That was the
That
assumption she
is
made. It's not actual proof. It was the continent of Africa falling on a car.
We don't know this.
It was in fact a disembodied hand.
Oh.
I did say this, Robbie. You should have been listening, bro.
Did you not listen?
No. I listened,
I mean, no.
but I thought the first one was Africa. And then the bodies.
Yeah. The hand came after Africa.
Oh, that's okay then. As soon as Africa was there.
Of course. So I'll be expecting that 5p.
No, I'm not giving you 5p. My story was way better.
That goes towards the GoFundMe for whatever I'm trying to fund.
Whatever you're trying to fund. I'm glad it's for a good cause.
Better camera. Yeah. Whoever wants to fund for a better camera and give.
So, Robbie,
Your
it's your turn. You have to pay us £20 each if your story's worse.
It was a late.
Especially me. Pay me first.
It was a late summer's night. It was dark. And spooky. Her name was Kevin. Her brother's name? Spacey.
Oh shit!
Spacey.
It's Kevin Spacey.
Oh no.
They'd gone to bed that night. But would they wake up?
Probably.
Why are you asking us? It's your story.
The answer
Come after these ads.
was yes.
We'll come after the break.
Oh no!
But they heard a thud.
The fuck did you say?
Wait, did you say a fountain or a fart noise?
They didn't know which one had let out the excrement. But what they both know is that they'd taken an Imodium before going to bed, so neither could be the culprit.
Oh.
They turned to each other, terrified.
Oh.
The lights went out again.
Again. They would never turn on.
Again, they were in the dark.
Stop saying again.
And again, they came out of the room to check the electricity. Spacey had recently...
Stacey had raped.
I mean,
Spacey
not a
had
wrong
raped
statement.
the electrician.
Raped the electrician.
Had recently taken an electrician's course at Nescott.
Nescott.
Good on him.
Good on Nescott. Nice work.
Good on him.
He went down to the fuse box, but realised it had been scratched out, and the box was missing.
It had been scratched
The whole box had been missing.
That's how bad the scratch was.
Oh
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
He suddenly realised that he'd left his sister upstairs.
His sister called Kevin.
Yes. He came rushing up whenever he heard a noise. Unspecified, of course.
Of course.
And again went into his bedroom. But his sister was gone. He thought about calling out to his parents, but he realised they weren't home.
Damn it. Not again.
And again, they weren't home.
Not again.
This has been the 15th night in a row. They don't know where they've gone. Carry on.
The spooky thing was, he then heard the jangling of keys downstairs in the kitchen.
Then he realised his grandparents were looking after them while they were away.
His uncle Harvey Weinstein.
His grandparents. His grandma Harvey. His granddad Weinstein.
Spacey went downstairs, looking for where the jingling was coming from.
You said jangling earlier.
That's why I often try to be unspecific with my noises.
So you don't face these kind of corrections.
Exactly.
Why heard you jingling?
He went down into the kitchen. Kevin was there,
Oh, alright.
standing by the sink, keys in hand. What are you doing, Kevin? Spacey questioned.
Jason.
Not much.
How about you?
Kevin replied ominously.
Not much.
She turned round, keys in hand.
Oh, yeah.
She threw them on the floor and ran away. But it was still dark.
So she smacks it on the table.
She was knocked out cold. Spacey didn't know what to do. His electrician course didn't cover this. So he decided to go out into the garden.
To take a piss.
Wait, did he bring Kevin with him or just?
No. leaving his poor sister unconscious on the wooden floor.
He needed.
Wait, we didn't specify it was a wooden floor.
Yeah,
It could have been marble. Was it marble?
it was actually granite.
Oh,
Iron.
shit. Cast
iron.
iron.
It was a copper floor.
Aluminum.
Spacey went out into the garden to get some fresh air and to calm down.
After it's horrifying.
Wait. Is it night time or?
Still nighttime.
okay. Because you specified a late summer evening.
Yeah.
So
Well, no, but sometimes it doesn't get dark until like 11 o'clock in the summer.
it's about 10.
It's 10 o'clock.
It's very bright.
It's broad daylight.
He took a cigarette from his back pocket.
How old is Spacey?
Very young and unspecified.
That's the twist.
Yes.
He's 34.
What you won't realise until the very end that this is a no smoking campaign for young children.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, not again.
We don't condone smoking for children or anyone. Well, I don't.
No, unless you have lung cancer.
In which case, smoke all you like, because it's not going to get any better.
Oh, that's horrible. That's so horrible.
Just like the night.
Just like the night.
nights that Spacey was having.
Yes. He put the cigarette behind his ear. He heard another noise.
Unspecified.
It was the rustling of autumn leaves, which was weird on this. He turned round. His sister was awake. She had the keys again in her hand.
What's the significance of the keys?
You'll find
Unspecified.
out later.
Unspecified, of course.
Of course, yes. He asked her again.
How's it going?
How's it going? She said,
Not much.
I seem to have hurt my head.
Wonder how that happened.
Spacey replied with, well, you did run into the cabinet.
Wait, why is there a cabinet
Good point, replied Kevin.
Kevin later replied.
later?
When I say later, a second later.
Oh.
A second later. A second later replied. Oh. They went bent back inside.
they went, Ben.
They then went back inside.
Oh, yeah.
The cigarette's still lit on Kevin's.
Wait, did he light
Face's
it?
No,
ear.
he just took it out and put it behind his ear.
Oh.
They then went back inside. Kevin closed the door and locked it with the keys. That's the significance.
No. Is that it?
They then decided to go back upstairs as they were going to fall asleep anyway before the power went out. They tucked each other into bed. Sorry,
How?
I keep on forgetting to be specific. The shared double king size bed. Kissed each other on the forehead good night and went to sleep.
Spacey replied, "Ew, it tastes like blood."
What Spacey didn't realise is that later the next morning at 1 a.m. Kevin would try to smother him.
Dun, dun.
It's a spooky ending.
Right, okay, but
But it was never.
who
disclosed.
scratched out the fuse box?
And who was the?
So was it a badger?
See, the great thing about horror is the less you know,
Interpretation.
the more scary it is.
Yeah, but no, it's just annoying. Who scratched out the fuse box, man?
I forgot to mention they have a cat.
Oh.
So who was the mysterious third person who farted in the room?
The cat.
It was all the cat.
So, but why was Kevin always holding the keys?
That was no significance.
Just to lock the
It's a
door?
red-
Lock the door
it's
at
a
the
red
end.
herring.
Yeah.
It's a red herring.
It's just no, there's just
But the really spooky thing is that,
the cabinet was in the middle of the kitchen that she ran into.
yeah, they thought it would be a good idea to have an island, but they were too cheap to get
So
one.
they just
So they
put
put
a
a
fucking
cabinet.
cabinet in the middle
Yeah.
and just smacked right into it.
And actually, the really scary thing is that Kevin doesn't have arms. So how she managed to smother him is really spooky.
Or hold keys.
Yes.
Or lock the door.
Or get up. Yes. It's like,
She's very skilled with her feet. So Grace, if you want someone,
call up Kevin.
So yeah, that's my story. I think that's as spooky as Africa falling on the roof of your car.
I think if we're gonna choose the worst, I think it's Finn's.
Yeah.
Finn's is the
My
worst.
story was the worst because it wasn't funny. That's why my story was the worst.
Ours were the scariest.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Scary.
I mean,
It doesn't get much scarier than Africa falling on your car roof.
It does.
or an armless
Asia-
girl called Kevin.
It does. What if Asia falls on your car, huh? What then?
Well, no, but Asia's very islandy.
No, it isn't.
The Philippines.
China.
Yeah, we don't. We don't.
Half of Russia.
We don't talk about those.
India.
Yeah, but Japan's an island.
Yeah. Yeah, but imagine you get like most of the continent fall on you, and Japan just smacks by your side, and all the cat girls just run at you. The cat girls escape and just like go towards
Yeah,
you
but
Belle
Africa's-
Delphine just runs at your car.
with a knife.
Yeah, but
Look, she doesn't need a knife. She just runs at your car.
Hits the car, smacks into it, knocks out.
but Africa's got the.
Oh, what do we need to wrap up?
Oh.
Ah,
Okay, well that was spooky stories.
With the podcast crew.
Yeah, we spent
That
about
was our comedy routine.
we
so
spent
just-
about 10 minutes trying to figure out loads of things to write on there.
I
Turns out
think
we're only gonna-
you know what? We're gonna continue this spooky.
we're gonna
stuff. I
continue
think-
spooky
I think we
spooky
should-
theme.
Should we do like a spooky series?
Yeah,
Spooky series.
we should do.
Sound-
Of like three. Well, we're looking at you because it's your house.
make a playlist.
Okay.
Cool.
Make
there
a
you go.
playlist
We've
of
made a playlist.
Spooky series.
So that was spooky stories. Apparently our 7th episode, but first episode in the spooky series.
Not
Bang!
confusing at
It's
all.
been the podcast.
Bang! It is in fact the podcast.
Oh yeah. We'll see you in
About 2
2
minutes probably.
minutes.
Spook out.
Shut up.
See you later, Kevin.
Has it stopped?
I'm gonna stop the recording.
Are you